Doing one of these. Jeez. All right. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another Around 30 Minutes. This is where we take somebody out of the fandom and you get to know them and everything. And we do this. I love doing this. I get to meet new people and all these wonderful people that are in this fandom and everything. So today we have another special guest, as always. We got Mr. M from Transformers and Video Games Reviews. Thank you very much for coming on, taking time out of your busy schedule. How are you doing?
I'm really good, brother. Thanks a lot for
Yeah.
having me on the show.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. I found your, channel through Patriot Primes and everything, all that stuff, and I've been checking your stuff out, and it's really good. So, the first thing I always ask is, what do you collect?
I collect a variety of things, but the main things I collect are Transformers, everything from original G1 Transformers to, G1 bootlegs for that matter,
Mm-hmm.
um, all the way up to retail and masterpiece Transformers generally. I collect some stuff in between there, but that's the main bulk of the Transformers collecting. I'm also a GoBots and Machine Robo collector.
Oh, okay.
Vintage stuff. So I've got a couple. I sprinkle a few reviews of GoBots on my channel here and there. They're not a huge hit. I like them, so that's why I do them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do some GoBot stuff. I collect GoBots. Video games, of course.
Yeah.
And with video games, I'm talking all generations of video games. Really old stuff to modern stuff. Like I play. I've got a PS4, so I play modern games.
Okay.
But I certainly enjoy and appreciate vintage games. Um, and I've got a couple of smaller sub collections I think you watched my latest unboxing video, so you
Mm-hmm.
would have seen
Yep.
my. It's the first time I actually showed it on my channel, but I've been interested in horror figures for a while,
Oh, yeah.
and the ones that I showed you or that I showed people, other than the one that I had bought that day or that arrived that day, were some NECA figures that I actually found the packing slip after I had recorded that video because I still had the box for them, like the
Okay.
shipping box. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize I bought those in 2016, so I've had them for a little while. But
Oh, really? Oh.
horror movies, and there's a couple of other minor things. Like I'm not hardcore with the horror stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I dabble in a little bit of GI Joe. Even I'm not sure how old you are, but are you familiar with the old '80s
Oh, yeah.
Rambo
Mm-hmm.
action
Yeah.
figure series by Coleco?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I've got a small collection of those.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got sort of a variety of things that I collect.
Yeah. I remember the cartoon. I remember it barely.
Right, Rambo: The Force of Freedom.
It was.
They changed the story a little bit on the cartoon, make it
Yeah.
a little more kid friendly.
Oh, they had to. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, come on now.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's cool. So yeah, with the horror stuff, man. Yeah, I just recently. It's called. I guess. It's called Phase Life. Is what it's called. I recently have been dabbling in a bunch of NECA horror figures and everything, and I've been getting the Ultimate stuff and everything. But the ones you got were like the older one, the cloth ones and everything and everything. They look really. I love the packaging of those and everything. They look really cool.
Yeah, I love the cloth clothing on
Hmm.
those particular NECA figures.
Yep.
And then the one that I got recently was that Mezco figure, and that series, of course.
I got him too.
You've
Yep.
got the is that a Mezco or?
Yeah, I had the. I only had, I collect mainly NECA, but I went in and got the Jason for the part three from Mezco. The one you got, the same one you got.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, I missed out on the Myers, and I think he's going for a good penny now.
I,
I have a pre-order for Freddy, and I may pre-order the new It one too. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on that one.
I pre-ordered Freddy, but it was funny. I just missed the window on the Michael Myers one, and when I
Yeah.
saw what it was going for now, I thought, is that resellers or is that the market?
Yeah, it was. I think yeah, they're going for a lot more than what he was charging. I'm just like, I mean, I found the Mecha. I'm sorry, the NECA one because I've been looking for it forever. Well, I didn't find it. I had to finally order it because my Target around my area sucks. So I
Yeah,
ordered it off of BPS. So I'm excited. I'm really happy with that one. I really love that
nice, nice.
one. So that's cool. Yeah, and video games and everything. You're a collector of video games. How many video games do you have?
Oh, I've never actually counted them.
Looks like you got a good
I'm going to
selection
say
there.
about 1,000 games.
Wow,
A
really?
lot of these are really old though. A lot of these are like, I'm including Game Boy,
Uh-huh.
Atari, probably about 1,000 video games.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
Yeah.
That is very nice, man. So they're not all behind you then. That's not 1,000, but I mean that's a good
No,
collection right there. But
no, this is a small fraction. Most of my video games are down here. I'm in the basement right now. The
okay,
My Transformers collection's in my sort of what used to be my office, but is now my Transformers room.
yeah,
Most of my video games are down here. I've got a couple of Billy bookcases on the other wall over there.
okay,
I showed the two main ones in a collection video I did on my channel close to a year ago.
okay.
But no, it's certainly behind me. This is just a fraction. This is
Right.
probably, there might be, I don't know, 70, 80 games or something on the shelf behind me. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, I had to go back and check your video out on that one. Big Stands, Hobbies, and Collectibles. What's up, man? He said, hey, he said hi to you too, man.
Hey, Big Stan, what's up?
Good dude, good dude. I need to get him on too, man. I need to get him on. I need to get
Yeah,
him
he's
on.
a good guy. He's a good guy.
Okay, so my next my next question is, why do you collect? Have you always collected as a, I don't really consider collecting as a kid because we didn't really collect as a kid because it's mainly just playing with. But did you collect as a teenager and then further into your adult life? Have you always collected something?
It's funny. No, I was done collecting basically, I think, when most other kids gave it up. And for me, I mean, I was still into the toys, but I just, because none of my friends were playing with them anymore, I thought, all right, like, you know what I mean? You sort of cave into the peer pressure. I still liked to play with the toys. I still liked them,
Mhm.
and I played with them in private, maybe
Yeah,
longer than I should have.
in the closet. Yeah,
Yeah, then I gave them up, and that was it. Closed the door on toys, and it was, it was sort of, we went from big boy time to,
oh yeah,
teenager, adult,
yeah.
working, and
Mhm.
all that. No, it wasn't until I want to say 2008, uh,
Okay.
something like that, 2009 maybe. But there was a comic store not far from where I worked at the time.
Oh, okay.
They had a lot of collectibles and that sort of thing. So what I used to do on my lunch, my job was sort of stressful, so I'd like to get out of the office and just go for a stroll at lunchtime. So I'd head up there, and I noticed they had Transformers. And the very first figure that I bought as an adult collector that got me back into the madness that you see maybe in some of my videos, of figure collecting, was the San Diego Comic-Con Blaster, G1 Blaster
Oh,
reissue.
okay. Yeah, the with the tapes and everything. Yep.
So
Hmm.
I think it
I
came out
got it.
3 or 4 tapes,
Hmm.
something like that.
Yep.
So that got me into it. And I sort of, I showed my wife and said, hey, this is what I collected when I was a kid. So I saw this one and thought it would be fun to have.
Hmm.
And then one thing led to another, snowball effect, and now I've got all this stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a big rabbit hole. So it basically is. So you are married. So I know that I sent you some questions, but let me ask you this: how does your wife feel about your collection, and does she support it? And does she collect anything also?
My wife does not collect anything.
Right.
Well, she doesn't collect anything actively. She's got a couple of sort of cutesy little things that
Mhm.
I'd call her collection, but it's literally like 4 or 5 figures.
Yeah.
Are you a Walking Dead fan?
Yes, I am. I love.
So we watched The Walking Dead together,
Yep.
and my wife, she likes the Daryl Dixon character.
Yep.
So she's picked up a couple of the pop vinyls. She's
Oh,
got, I
okay.
think, one of him on a motorcycle, and then I think 3 individual ones. And I think she's got some other random, I don't know which company puts it out, but a bit, like a more realistic looking Daryl Dixon.
Mhm.
Other than that, that's about it. Her birthday, I had actually offered to buy her because it's available at Big Bad Toy Store. I was going to buy her, from the same Mezco series. They have the Mezco, what is it, 112 Daryl
Yeah, I
Dixon.
think 112. Yeah.
So I showed it to her. She saw the price and said, no, 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 no. So she likes it, but not that. She wouldn't want me to spend the
Yeah.
money on that for her.
Yeah.
But no, she is, my wife is extremely supportive
Oh,
of my
good.
collecting. Either she's extremely supportive or she's a great liar.
Well, yeah. That's
She,
fine. That's
like
fine.
she's not into it, but she, like she knows what I have. A lot of my stuff is on display, so she sees it. There
Yeah.
was one day when she was having sort of a girls' weekend where her cousins came over and they spent the night, and hung out and drank wine and spent the night at our place.
Mhm.
So I, of course, got out of the house for the night so
Oh
I
yeah.
could be around that. And she brought them down to the basement here and showed them, because I've got a number of things down here. So they apparently they sat around for an hour messing with my stuff.
Oh,
So I mean, you know what I mean? She's not. It's not like she's embarrassed about it and doesn't want
yeah,
anybody to know. Like she, yeah, no, but she's very supportive of it.
right.
She's never asked me how much did this cost,
Yeah,
any of that normal stuff. But then again, when my wife brings in a new purse and I'm sort of familiar with name brands, I don't question.
yeah.
You know,
Well, you can't, because then she'll be like, "Come on now,
yeah, who do we
don't
got?
want me to get downstairs and everything."
You
My
know,
wife's the same way. She doesn't collect anything. She loves Beauty and the Beast, and I've tried to get her some of Belle stuff, some pops and everything, and she keeps them. But she was like and just like your wife, she was like, if I paid for stuff, she'd be like, "No, don't get that. I don't." It just clutters up and everything. So I
yeah,
understand, but she's real supportive too. My wife is, all that wonderful stuff. So that's
nice
cool. That's good. That's all. It's always good to have family that that always supports you and everything.
for
Okay.
sure.
So, who is your favorite character, and why is he or she your favorite character?
My favorite character has always been the Generation One iteration of Megatron.
Okay.
I loved him in the cartoon. I loved I loved the Frank Welker voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the cartoon is obviously a bit more simplified version of what I really appreciated. I mean, he brought the character to life.
Uh-huh.
But for me, it was the G1 toy that sold it. I've always been a huge G1 Megatron fan. I wanted one with it when I was a kid. My mom wouldn't let me have it. It became, when I got into collecting as an adult, that became this obsessive thing where I had to get one because I just the robot was cool, the alt mode was amazing. Like what kid didn't want that? And that's exactly why my mother wouldn't let me have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why didn't they package them in robot mode?
Yeah, that is true.
So
I mean, it would sell. I mean, now you couldn't. I mean, with the new reissues coming to Walmart and everything. I think that's if they were to make a Megatron, they'd have to, put it in bot mode. They couldn't, do gun mode.
it would either have to be in bot mode, but I almost think for like potential legal liability reasons, unless they made it, I just don't see them doing it, and I wish they would.
Yeah.
But if they were going to do it, if they made them like, I don't know, chrome orange, and you know what I mean, like it could not look realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Color wise.
Well, what they did with the classics, they made it kind of look like a Nerf gun,
Yeah.
whole thing going on. But then the Takara one did a silver version, so it kind of looked a little better than what it was.
Still a Nerf gun, but yeah, they did do it.
That's true. That's true. Cool. All right. So we'll talk about how long have you been doing reviews, and why did you get into doing reviews?
I actually just celebrated my 1 year anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. So March 8th was actually the exact day when I opened the account. I think I uploaded my first video maybe on the 10th of March.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I do it? I mean, I've always been inspired by other YouTubers, like some of the old school original. And there's tons of guys I could shout out right now, and I don't want to turn it into that. But
oh no,
like old school guys, Collector 75, Optimus Prime, Collector 75. Some of those guys, old school. I watched them for a long time, so that that sort of fueled my passion for collecting. But getting back into it about a year ago, like the Encore line had it seemed like it had wrapped up, the Encore G1 reissue line.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like we were getting any reissues. Nobody was talking about G1 much on YouTube other than sort of the usual suspects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I thought, what happens when people, things fall out of our minds and out of our consciousness? They just get forgotten and it becomes a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's important. It sounds ridiculous, but almost just preserving history. I love this stuff and I'm passionate about it, but almost just preserving that G1 history. And in my case too, I've got a fairly deep G1 collection, and I've got a number of pre-Transformers figures as well.
Oh.
And I just thought I've got some things that, I guess I don't think about it when I'm looking at them on the shelf or whatever. But when I upload certain videos, people tell me, "Hey, I didn't know that existed," and that's exactly, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I want. Like I don't want my channel to just be a rehash of everything else that's happening. Certainly I review some Siege figures and that sort of stuff too, like everybody else. But it's really cool to pull out something that either hasn't been reviewed on YouTube or hasn't been reviewed in a long, long time and expose new collectors to it. So for me, it was kind of that. I've got this collection. I've got things that I know people haven't seen. Why not share it? Now, as timing and luck would have it, G1's sort of on made a bit of a comeback. It's on the rise again. Walmart, of course, has all the reissues, and I'm loving it. I mean, I'm not buying them all, but I love that they're out there, and I love that guys are reviewing them. It's back in the mainstream, at least for now. So.
Oh yeah, just this nostalgia, just walking down to Walmart aisle or whatever and seeing, G1 stuff that you saw as a kid, and it's just like, oh, that's really cool. I mean,
For me,
cool, expensive, but still cool.
the excitement for me of being able to walk into a Walmart with, like an adult paycheck in my pocket, see something in like, you know what I mean? Like if there was a Devastator on the shelf, and of course we all saw it,
Yeah.
I can buy it. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing to see, those G1 boxes and the G1 artwork sitting there for me to buy. In fact, I bought the Devastator, had it at home, had sober second thoughts, and returned it because I thought, I've got a vintage one. I don't really need to be acquiring. It's different if it's super cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got a G1 hot rod. I'm from Canada, right? So the prices are going to seem a little inflated here, but this was super cheap. He came out. When he hit retail, he was, I think, $39.99 Canadian. I guess it was $30 US, 40 Canadian. I got mine for $7.50 Canadian. So
Nice.
at that price, I was going to pass on them, but I thought,
Oh yeah.
come on, I've got to pull the trigger on that.
Oh yeah.
If I saw Devastator going for 20 or $30, I would have bought that too, but it was 100 Canadian.
Oh yeah, I waited till Hot Rod went on sale and I got him for like $12. A buddy of mine found the Devastator. I never saw Devastator in the stores. A buddy of mine in Colorado found him like for $20 or something. So he sent it to me, and I already had the Takara reissue of them. So I sent them to another friend of mine. He wanted one. He's like, hey, I sent it to him. He said you can have it.
Yeah, I've got that Takara one too, and it's kind of like, how many do I need? Like, I've got a vintage gift set. I've got the Takara reissue. It's like, I think I'm good.
Yeah, me too. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Awesome. So, okay, if you could have one last meal, and like I tell everybody, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. If you could have one last meal, what would that last meal be?
It would quite honestly be a fat, juicy steak,
Nice.
French fries, and I was going to say a hot fudge sundae, but I think it would be specifically a peanut butter parfait from Dairy Queen.
Oh, okay, nice, very nice. I like the hot fudge.
Available, just a nice big hot fudge sundae would be nice with peanuts on top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hot fudge sundae would be good, especially from Dairy Queen. Dairy Queens are pretty good. I didn't know you had Dairy Queens up there.
Yeah, we've got Dairy Queen here. In fact, when I do go to Dairy Queen, it's always a peanut butter parfait for me. None of this, dipped cone or any of that. I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
If I'm having a treat every now and then, it's got to be the peanut butter parfait.
Dairy Queen's got some good blizzards too. I love their Butterfingers.
I do like their blizzards.
Really good. Really good. My wife gets the M&M, and I get the Butterfinger. Really good. Cool. Okay, so are you a cereal kind of guy? And what's your favorite cereal if you are?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been trying to eat healthier for the last 4 months or so. So if I told you my general breakfast now, it wouldn't be very appealing. But I brought a little prop down. I'm going to show you.
Okay. Cool.
From my cupboard. Now my wife and I don't have kids, so this is me that was eating this stuff. But this is my favorite.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Count Chocula is actually my favorite guilty pleasure cereal.
That's
something about those crispy little marshmallows.
Oh yeah, that's it. There's a new cereal now. I don't know. It's not really new. It's a Fruit Loops with marshmallows. I've been talking about that, and it's so good. I could eat a box. Give me a gallon of milk and a box. I'm good.
I don't think I've seen those here in Canada. Is that a new thing, or is that a special edition?
I guess it's within this, last year or something like that. But it's fairly new. It's one of the newer, cereals, but it's so good. Oh man, if you come across it.
Honorable mention, I would say, would be Frosted Lucky Charms. And I actually have a box of those in the cupboard too. Nice.
Very nice. That's a really good one. Good choice.
I haven't touched these cereals in several months now, but the expiry, I've got till July.
That's good. Well, that's good. That's awesome, man. That's good. So if you could watch if you're flipping through channels or whatever on TV and everything, and you come across a movie, what was one of your favorite movies that you could just watch all the time and never get sick of?
I'm going to mention two real quick. There's one that I haven't seen in a long time, but when it's on, I do watch it. and I don't know why I do, because I've got the DVD. I could just watch it uncut. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Pulp Fiction was one of those old
Okay.
classics from the 90s. You know, Quentin Tarantino. Always enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And the other one, quite honestly, the original First Blood, you know, Rambo Part 1,
Okay. Yeah.
like from 1982 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Love the music. I'm going to say the quasi-realism.
Yeah.
And I say that he's taking on like a local small town, you know, sheriff and
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
men, as opposed to an army, which is, you know, outrageous.
Yeah.
Those are entertaining, but the first one is actually kind of realistic considering his military training and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. I think was it the third one he took on the army or something like that? I don't.
I, I think all of the movies except the first one he took on
Yeah,
an army.
exactly. I was like, yeah. I think every movie he was in, he was facing the army. But Stallone was good. I mean, back then, one of my guilty pleasure to Stallone is Tango and Cash. I don't know
That was
why.
a good movie.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know what? The chemistry between him and it was Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, the chemistry between him and he's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
Yeah.
You know,
It
I
was,
mean, he can
it was
pull it off depending on the movie.
Yeah, that's true. It's one of my guilty pleasures, and I watch. I've always said Tombstone is one of my. I don't know. It don't matter if I could start it. At the beginning, in the middle, almost to the end. I'll sit there and watch Tombstone. I don't know. It's just I'll watch it.
That was a fantastic movie. I remember at the time, I haven't seen that one in a long time. That's actually another one I could watch anytime. But Val Kilmer was fantastic in that one.
Oh, his best role, I think. Other than I liked him in Heat also,
Yeah.
but him as Doc Holliday, I mean, he should have won an Oscar for that.
Right down to the gray complexion, smoking
Yeah.
all the time, the accent. Yeah, fantastic movie.
Perfect. It was, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. And for one of the last things, if you go to a concert, who would be your last concert you could ever see? It'd be the last time you ever see a concert. Who would that be?
It would probably be, in my case, Metallica.
Okay.
And the reason is, I mean, I've always been a Metallica fan. I mean, I don't want to say always. I haven't bought an album of theirs, a CD of theirs in, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have Saint Anger or anything.
Yeah, it's been a while.
If there is anything. But I always liked old Metallica, up to like, modern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I remember when I was in early high school, they toured, they came to Canada, and they toured with Guns N' Roses. And Guns N' Roses was another one of my favorite bands.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to see them. It just wasn't in the cards at the time. I had an opportunity to see Guns N' Roses when they came to Toronto 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right, like not this past summer, the summer before.
Yeah.
So I knocked that one off the bucket list. They were really good. Metallica, yeah, they've got, I mean, their work spans. I want to say, are you a Metallica fan?
Yeah, I saw. Well, I'm not a big one, but I saw them in the Black Tour. I saw them a while back there. So
like their first album, Kill 'Em All, I want to say is like 1983.
Yeah, 82, 83. Yeah, then you got
I mean, quite a body of work.
Yeah, and Justice for All is a really good album.
That was one of my favorites. That's probably one of the ones that I listened to the most.
Now that tour with Guns N' Roses and Metallica, wasn't that the one that got canceled? They had like a riot. I think Axl quit or something. He just he got pissed off or something.
Yeah,
and I think he was opening act, and they caused a riot. I think it was in Toronto, wasn't it?
I think it was if I'm not mistaken,
Montreal.
It was Montreal. Okay. But yeah, something like, I mean, I think that happened a couple of times, to be honest with you. Something would happen. Either somebody would do something he didn't like, or if something would happen with his voice or vocal cords, and he'd just call it a night, and people would go crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would too. I mean, they paid a lot of money for it. But I think it was either Toronto or Montreal that he flew off the handle, whatever, and he, let them, and then Metallica came out or something like, I don't know. I forgot. But there was a big riot that year. I remember.
I think James Hetfield got injured or something too. I thought he got burnt.
Oh, he got burned? Oh, okay. Yeah, he got burned, and then Axl didn't want to go on or something like that. And that's okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that.
Sounds like a comedy of errors, eh?
Yeah, because he was it was pyro or something like that. He stood in the wrong place or something, and everything. He got messed up really bad. I remember that. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right. So, if you had to stop collecting, would you be satisfied with your collection you have right now? And if you had And if you wanted to start over, would you collect a different way?
If I had to stop collecting, especially if it wasn't my choice, like if there was some reason, whether it be finances or
Yeah.
just space, I was at capacity. I definitely miss it. Um, Sorry, what would I do different?
I mean, if you stop collecting, would you start again, and would you start a different way? Like, would you collect different ways that, just collect all masterpiece maybe, or just collect all G1?
Do you know what I think I do? I went through a couple of phases in my collecting where I was buying stuff, and then I call them like my great purges, where I'll take a
Yeah.
whole line and get rid of it. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
did that with classics. And when I say classics, I mean like, the original classics,
Yeah.
generations,
Yeah. 2000.
all my, the seekers, like the deluxe seekers, all gone.
Yep.
Um, and then now here I am buying them all over again with Siege and Titan's Return and Power of the Primes and all that.
Yeah.
I would probably, quite honestly, as much as I enjoy the retail line and I'm enjoying it right now, I think I would probably focus on G1 and Masterpiece. I never really went down the third party rabbit hole that a lot of other people have. I do own some third party figures and I
Hmm.
enjoy the ones I have. So when I say masterpiece, I mean like true, Takara
Oh, yeah.
licensed.
Yeah.
I heard you talking with another guy about it was funny about knockoffs and masterpiece, and you guys had a friendly debate about it. But I'm like you, I've always gone like legit. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've got
Yeah.
the legit Takara masterpiece Megatron, but I also bought two of the knockoffs to mess around with.
Right.
I bought the not the knockoff Takara one, but I bought the there were two other ones. There was like
Yeah. Infinity something, or I
yeah,
took a look at one of them. I
that
forgot.
one and Dynastron or something like that. They were the same thing. So I
Yeah.
support Takara, but if I want something to fiddle around with, then
Oh yeah.
whatever. Occasionally I'll
I don't judge people on knockoffs. I mean, I don't personally. I don't collect knockoffs, but I
yeah
don't knock anybody for collecting knockoffs. That's your own. I'm not paying your bills. You're paying your own bills. If you want to buy knockoffs, I don't. What I don't like is when people like on eBay or whatever try to push knockoffs as being legit
yeah
masterpieces of their stuff. Trying to fool people. And people don't know. They're new collectors and everything don't know. The difference and everything. I don't
yeah
like that.
yeah. I mean, you can't say let the buyer beware when the nuances from a legit box to a knockoff box are
Oh
very
yeah,
subtle. I'm not
very.
talking
Yeah.
Takasa Tony. There are
Yeah.
several of them that say Takara Tomy, and they're
Hmm.
knockoffs. And
Yep.
people get into all this stuff, like if you're at if you're at TF Con, and they say, well, no, the cardboard lines, like behind the picture, if it's horizontal,
Yeah.
then it's legit or something, and if it's vertical, it's a knockoff. Well, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but you can't tell on eBay, and if they're
Right.
charging a slight discount or a bit of a discount from legit, it might be legit. You don't know.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I would sort of defend, about the Megatron ones that I bought are that there's no confusing those other than like it says infinite transformations, it says
Yeah.
Dynastron, Emperor of Destruction or something. Like you're not
Hmm.
fooling anybody unless you removed it from the box
Yeah.
and
I try
decided
to.
to do something shady on your own.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, but for the original question, yeah, I would cut out all that middle fluff and just do G1 and legit
Yeah.
Takara
Okay.
or Hasbro Takara, whatever you want to call them now.
Nice. Yeah. 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 Hasbro. Yeah.
Hashtag, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So, let's see. Okay. So, if you owned a third-party company, by yourself, what would be your first release, and what scale would that be?
I won't know the specific scale numbers, but I think you'll know what I'm talking about when I describe it. So, are
Okay.
you familiar with Lewin Optimus Prime?
That's a huge,
The
like that. That's a huge
gigantic,
one.
like,
Yeah, like 18 inches or something.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that Optimus Prime I actually bought.
Nice.
Um, uh, if I owned a third-party company at this exact moment while you're asking the question, I would make the matching Megatron masterpiece Megatron
Okay.
MP36 to go with it.
Wow.
You'd have a giant elephant gun
Yeah.
in your hands that looked like a pistol,
Exactly.
but it would scale beautifully with the giant Lewin Optimus Prime.
Where do you put that guy at?
At the moment, I'm looking at him right now. He's
Okay.
standing. I wanted to put him in um, uh, one of my Billy bookcases. There's a half-sized one, from IKEA, those Billy bookshelves.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
I was going to stick him in the center of the half, um, which is in the center, like it's being sort of flanked by two full-sized Billy bookcases. So
Yeah.
it'd be the center of the collection. I was going to put him right there, and of
Okay.
course, I didn't measure I didn't measure it out properly, so he doesn't fit where I wanted him. So right now,
Yeah.
I'm probably just gonna leave him down here.
Okay.
But I wanted to actually display him behind glass properly, just because I think they did a really good job on it. It's a pretty solid for the money. I mean, when you think about the new Masterpiece version 3 Optimus Prime that's coming out is going to be something like what, $450?
Yeah, the MP44. Yep.
Like, is that, sorry, is it 400 or 450 US?
I think it's 450 US. I've got them on pre-order for about 300, I think, or something on Amazon Japan.
So think
Yeah.
when you think about the exchange here in Canada, I mean, I'm paying
Oh yeah. You're
about
looking.
20, an additional 25%. I
Yeah.
got this guy for just, I'm going to say $500 Canadian.
Okay.
Um, he's cheaper or
Yeah.
around the same price, and it's an amazing, it's
Huge.
heavy. It's got die cast. I mean, what do I do with them now that I can't stick them
Yeah.
on my shelf? But you know what I mean? Like dollar for dollar, like what your money's buying. Like it's an amazing.
You could put that in a car seat and take it around for like a,
Oh,
a child or something.
totally.
Put it and take it to the park and everything, and just this is my child. I'm like, yeah, you look like it. So
Get some hidden camera content for our YouTube channel.
yeah, exactly, exactly. You should film that. I thought about. I bought the Zeta Bruticus, and people wanted me to like take them, around, driving or something, or to the park or something, or to a Walmart or something, have them put them in a cart and everything. I need to
Yeah.
do that. I still haven't done it yet, but I think that'd be a pretty cool video to
Like
show.
getting reactions out of people.
Oh yeah, exactly. So that'd be awesome. So what inspires you for your reviews and everything? Like, how do you how did you come up with the way you do your reviews and everything? And have you thought about doing like have you ever done what do they do, like play video games on YouTube and everything, like
So
so you have a huge vast
live
collection.
streams and all that.
Yeah, live streams like a Twitch or something like that.
I don't know. I don't think I'd be very successful at live streaming, and I mean, I'm saying that because I've never done it. But I like to play the games. And I'm not really a guy that likes to. There's the odd live streamer that I'll occasionally pop in just because
Mhm.
they talk. They really look at the comments and they actually answer
Yeah,
questions. You're
yeah.
not literally. If
Mhm.
I wanted to watch somebody play a game, I'd fire up my PS4 and I would play myself. I'm not going to watch a guy play a game if I can play.
Yeah.
For me, I think when I'm playing a game, I get into it. So I don't want to be sitting there playing and trying to read comments.
Okay,
You know what
gotcha.
I mean?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, I don't think I would go down that path. I don't think people would tolerate me just sitting there. And I'm not. I wouldn't. I'm not one of those people that acts sort of like false animated, where I'm going
Yeah.
to be going crazy. Like some of these fake reaction videos we see.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like the Bumblebee trailer, and guys are like, and you get these crazy like thumbnail shots. Like I just don't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think my reaction to the game or any of that stuff would be anything that would drive. That alone wouldn't drive viewership.
Gotcha.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, I don't think I'd go that route. When it comes to my reviews themselves, I don't know. I think I'm still kind of fine tuning it. I mean, if you watch some of my early reviews on the channel, I mean, I think they're probably they're probably pretty rusty. So I think I've sort
Mine
of
are too, man.
I think I've refined, like just within a year, I think I've refined my craft a little bit.
Okay.
But I don't know, like I flip flop a little bit. Do I want to be on camera? Do I not want to be on camera? Do I want just magic hands like this, like manipulating
Yeah.
stuff? Do people want to see me? I don't know. So for a while, I was sort of doing, like I do the intro and an outro.
Hmm.
And then I don't know, lately I've been doing the figures alone. So as far as what I review, it really comes down to just kind of how I'm feeling. It'd be easy for me to get, like, I had all those Siege figures when people cared about, like, Wave 1, for instance. So if I wanted to try to nab views, like, if that was my main motivation, I could have reviewed all of them and certainly got more traffic on my channel than I got doing what I did.
Hmm.
But having said that, I mean, I still did, I did Optimus Prime. I did a couple of them. But I don't want to feel like I'm chasing after views and chasing trends. I just kind of want to do my thing, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, right?
No, total.
So
Total.
like, on me, like on my channel, if I decide to grab a GoBot, if I decide to grab a G1 figure, I reviewed my giant Lou and Optimus Prime.
Hmm.
I just kind of do what I want. I sprinkle in game stuff. Like, I don't do game streaming content, but I
Yeah.
do have a video games playlist. And if you go to it, I've got stuff like I'm a big, at least for the last 2 summers, I've been doing a lot of garage sale hunting. So I
Okay. Yeah.
wake
Yeah.
up early on a Saturday morning, like
Oh yeah.
7 a.m. I'm already out there driving around looking for garage sales, and I found some toys that I care about, a couple of Transformers last year, but I find a lot of video games, like old and new.
Oh yeah.
So that's the kind of content I've been showing a little bit, kind of some game hunting on the road,
Okay.
where, maybe I'll be showing live footage of what I'm seeing at the garage sale. Then
Oh yeah.
maybe I'll show you in my car, like I'll just hold up kind of what I bought and how much I
Oh yeah.
paid.
Oh yeah.
And lately I started a new series where I'm testing to see if certain things work.
Yeah.
So like I bought a ColecoVision for $20. I
Oh,
bought a
nice.
classic, like an old school, like late '70s. You're too young for this, but Pong. It's
No,
like ping pong, but
I'm
it's like old
22.
school. Yeah, it's
I'm
like a
22.
basically
I
old
remember that
school,
stuff.
like you know, table tennis, but electric,
Yep.
like very crude early arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Atari.
home console, pre
Yeah.
Atari, where it's just two lines on the screen moving up and down.
Oh, I know.
I bought
Yeah.
one of those, but I haven't made the time to test any of it.
Okay.
So last week I uploaded a video where I tested a little mini, like a Nintendo mini arcade game,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um, just to see if it works. And if it works, I'll play one game, 3 lives. If I do well, fine. If I suck, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Just a bit of fun. I mean, no one's going to subscribe to me to get reviews on the latest games. I'm just not doing that. Like I don't have capture um, capabilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
No, I understand. Yeah.
so
I
so
mean, it's it's there's a lot of reviewers out there now. It's a lot of you have to have your own little uh you know thing, that grabs people and everything. That's why I do the floor time and everything. I try to make stuff and everything, but you got to do it. You got to do reviews. Don't think you're going to make a lot of money or get a lot of subs or anything. You got to do it for yourself. And you got to be happy. When I start, thinking, this is like a job or something, I'm not having fun doing this, then I want to quit because it's just not fun anymore. I do this because I like doing it. And
for
same
sure.
with you and everything, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's really cool. Really, I would love. Yeah, if you, the garage sales, I would love to do that because around here they're not really that good. I've never found one transformer in any of my, garage sales or flea markets and everything. So it's very. If I recorded it, it would be very boring. So I don't record that stuff.
Well, I mean, my garage sales look a lot more exciting than they are because I'm only showing the highlights. If I
Yeah,
showed you all the times I pulled over in my car, hey man, any old video games, any toys? Nope.
yeah,
Or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I
there's a
got you.
lot of times there's nothing.
I got
Or they tell me a guy showed up at 5 a.m. or something. I'm not going to do that.
you. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I understand.
Some other guy beat me to it or something at 5 a.m. It's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, you can have that. So, how do you display? I can see stuff behind you and everything. You got some bookshelves or anything. Do you do details or do you do glass shelves or anything? Or how do you mainly display? Is it mainly bookshelves?
The stuff down, yeah, it's for me, it's bookshelves. The collection that I care the most about is it's the one that you see in some of my like collection videos, the actual
Hmm.
collection videos.
Yeah.
So that stuff is all in my actual Transformers room, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
In there, I've got two full-sized Billy bookcases and one half-sized Billy bookcase.
Oh, nice.
I put glass doors on them,
Okay. Nice.
and so I display boxed and loose figures behind glass. I also have two Detolf cases in the same room, and same. I mean, those are obviously completely
Oh, yeah.
shielded. Yeah, they're completely protected by glass. So the stuff that I really care about, Transformers related, I like to display almost museum style, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No.
To me, putting the glass doors on there, not only does it protect it from dust and uh, you know the elements, I guess,
Yeah.
but it bumps up. I don't want to say sort of like it classes it up, but it makes it seem a lot more
Presentable.
presentable, impressive,
Yeah.
displayable, whatever, you know, it makes it seem really special, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I love, you know, I mentioned earlier, nostalgia is one of the reasons why I collect. But, you know, when I've had a stressful day working or whatever's going on in my life, sometimes I like just to walk, you know, I like to walk in the room,
Oh yeah.
have a look at what I've got. Maybe I'll pick something up and fiddle with it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a calming effect. But I mean, that's how I display the stuff up there. Down here, I've got uh, Billy bookcases as well. But for my video games, I'm back behind me on this side here. You could see a couple of Transformers.
Yep.
I didn't bother with the glass doors down here. This is just, those are all retail figures.
Yeah,
Like,
those are Power the Primes and Time Returns. Yeah.
so I'm not too worried about, you know what I mean? Like, to me, those are just fun ones that are down here. If they get a bit dusty, so be it. But my video games, I don't feel the need to put them behind glass or
right. I got you.
they're just out in the open.
All mine are open. Well, I have two detail. I have one detail right over here, and I have one next to me also. And some of the nicer figures, some of the third party, and especially my Flame Toy stuff, they're real expensive. But most, if you watch my reviews, you'll see all my stuff around. It's it looks like it's just right behind me, but it's all around. I need to do I have my first video I did was my collection, but that was like, God, in 2015. So it's been a while. So I need to do an updated collection.
I'll have to circle back and watch. I love collection videos, especially if somebody's talking about their collection.
It's rough. It's a rough one. It's like I said, it's my first one, and it's pretty like like you said, when you've gone back, you've changed the way you do it. Everybody does, they change the way they do the reviews. I've actually thought about going back and doing the review again on that thing, or actually talk about my reviews, or kind of do an overcast of how I did my reviews back then and say how it changed and everything.
It's funny you'd say that, because my very first, like, I love collection videos, but I like I don't know what format yours was. Were you talking about your collection, or did you just show it?
No, I was talking, Darren. I was,
my very first one on this channel, I literally had a music, backtrack, and I just showed the collection. And as soon as I uploaded it, and I started getting a bunch of views, which was nice, and comments, I instantly regretted it. I thought, why didn't I do? This was a great opportunity. I went through all of my Billy bookcases in my office and what was on them at the time, and I didn't say a word. And I instantly regretted it. And the funny thing is, I've toyed with this. I've still got the raw footage. I've still got the exact video, same length.
Yeah.
I thought I could go back and revisit the same video and do a complete voiceover, but I don't know how people would feel about that. Like, I don't want people to start giving me thumbs down, thinking I'm cashing in on my own.
It's still, thumbs down is still good, man. It's still a view, man. But I think that'd be fine if you went back and everything, or just do a new one. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm sure it'll be an updated one.
Yeah. Hey, quick question for you. When it comes to the details, are you 100% satisfied with them? I've got a couple of them too. I'm just curious. I've got a couple of beats. I'm just not sure if other people feel the same.
I think I was more excited to get them, and then when I got them, I'm just like, they're fine. And I'm on Shattercast because another is a podcast and everything. We've wrestled with that before. Like, sometimes Transformer just doesn't fit right in the details. Like I have one figure right here. That's the Flames Toys Tarn, and then you got the Galvatron, Cyclonus, and Scourge. Everything that's fine, and everything. But then I got 3 Seekers down here. Then I got some Optimus or Scourges down there in the Megatron. So I don't know. Sometimes there's like a lot of empty space.
That's exactly what bothers me a little bit. Like, I like the shelves; they look nice. The price is just right. But what bothers me, yours look really nice compared to mine. See, I've got short figures on display. So unless you're displaying tall figures, you've got the figure that comes up to here. Yeah. And then you've got all this empty space up here. And to me, it's like I've got this box of air. That makes sense. Now, I'm not a very handy guy. I think just about anybody else is handier than me. But I saw a hack on YouTube where you can actually adjust the levels. Like, see how you've got
I know what you're talking about.
3 glass shelves. You can add a 4th, and you can take care of the issue that I'm complaining about.
Well, have you thought about risers?
I do, but you can only do so much with those because you've only got so much depth.
Yeah. That's true.
Because I do have risers, but my risers are like a couple of inches deep. So you can only get like 3 rows. And then because I'm doing little figures, you've
Yeah.
still got all that space.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Unless I might actually clear out my detolfs and actually finally pull out all my masterpiece stuff. I think that might fill up a bit more space, but even that,
I will.
they're
Yeah.
not they're not big figures.
Yeah. Them are, those star screens right there. There's two. There's a Make Toys and the Masterpiece one and everything. Like they are bigger than what you're like G1 and
Yeah.
classic chug stuff and everything. But
Yeah.
you still have like I said, you still have quite a few space in between all that stuff and everything. So I mean it's fine. I've seen some people do it really good. If you put like Hot Toys in there or something, you get some lights and everything, you light them up and everything. I don't barely have any lights on or anything. Like I said, I was more interested in getting them, and then when I got them, I was just like, eh,
I was a bit underwhelmed
yeah,
with
exactly.
mine.
Like you said, they are presentable and they are cheap. They're like $69 here in the States. So
Yeah. And even a guy like me who's not very handy can actually put them together.
yeah, exactly. It took me a while to feel the first one. I was like, because the I think the glass or something, whatever, was kind of bent or something was bent, and it took forever. I couldn't get it in and all that stuff and everything.
Well, there's one step where they recommend a second person, and
Yeah,
my
yeah,
wife's
you
not
held
always,
it. Yeah.
she's
Hmm.
not always patient with helping with that kind of thing. So I thought, you know what, I'm doing this myself. You've got to slide the 2 pieces of glass into the lip
I
of
know.
the
That's what my
piece,
mom said too.
and I
Yeah.
did it myself because I thought, you know what I mean. I don't want to
Yeah.
end up fighting or something like that over something stupid like that.
Yep.
But
Exactly.
yeah, one thing I should do actually, as I look around my various spaces, is somebody like me that has a lot of vintage boxed figures. I mean, if they would get dusty, but it'd be
Yeah.
nice to maybe do some floating shelves so that not,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? It would just liberate a lot of that Billy
Oh
bookcase
yeah. Hmm.
space.
Hmm.
So that might be another option that I might
I would love.
go down.
I'm a big Legends collector, so I think the floating shelves would be perfect. I would love to. Whenever if we move again, I would love to have some floating shelves where I could put my Legends figures on there.
Yeah, you mean like like Legends Transformers?
Yeah, like I collect everything Hasbro and then, third party. I got Magic Square, Iron Factory, and all that stuff and everything. So I'm a big Legends collector. I've gone down that rabbit hole. So Bay 13 Junior, thank you for joining. He asked, do you think there's a future in 6 scale Transformers? I know Hot Toys made a Prime a few years back. Yeah, they did. They made a Prime, and I think he had like Starscream wings or something like that. 6 scale. So you're talking about Hot Toy size. So I mean, these Flame Toys they're pretty decent size. They don't transform. And they're real expensive. They're really detailed and got a lot of paint. Um, I don't think that Prime sold that well for that Hot Toy. So I don't know if there's going to be a future for that. I mean, I probably they got 3As coming out the new stuff. Like Bumblebee from the movie and Blitzwing. And they look really good, but they're not. I don't think they're 6 scale. I don't think, but they're really nice looking. I think they will look good in a DTOF. What about
Now,
you? Do you
did you
think?
understand that cross or the whole thing with the Starscream wings? I never some of the stuff they do I never quite understand why
Oh, with
they
the Hot Toys? Well, in one of the episodes, Starscream dressed up as Optimus, like
oh
and the MP44 has actually a Starscream head, and you can take off the Optimus Prime head. So I
gotcha.
think that's what it kind of alluded to was the Starscream part and everything.
When they
So
frame the Autobots and yeah,
exactly, yeah. So I think that's what it was kind of intended for and everything. So
yeah.
cool. All right. So if someone gave you $1,000 right now, would you pay bills or would you buy toys?
If we had had this around 30 last night, I would have said all my bills are paid. I'm gonna buy toys.
Yeah.
After work, then before we had our first interaction, I popped by my tax office to pick up my tax return,
Uh-huh.
and unfortunately, I owe Canada Revenue
Oh,
money. So unfortunately, at this moment in time, I would pay bills. I pay Canada Revenue. But if you'd asked me yesterday, it would have been toys all the way. Toys, or maybe if my wife is watching, it would have been vacation with my wife. Not
exactly.
watching, toys.
Exactly. Yeah, I always gotta. Yeah, I would love. Another good point. I would love. I always like always say I want to go on vacation. Man, there's always new stuff coming out. Just like
it's a bit of a treadmill, isn't it? Like as soon as you think you're kind of done and everything's, uh, you've filled in whatever gap it is, they either come out with a new line that's cool,
Yeah.
like the whole Siege line. It's like I don't feel the need to get everything. I don't like everything, even though I think it's a great line. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, did I need another Optimus Prime? Absolutely not. But it's very cool, so I thought, why not? And I bought it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Something like Prowl or whatever like that. It's like, you know what? I'm going to pass on that. I don't personally love it,
Yeah.
but it's just funny. Like, just when you think you're done, like Masterpiece, we've had three Masterpiece Optimus Primes, including the version 3 that's coming out. So yeah, it's sort of a never ending.
Yeah. And I say that, I always, the new Siege line is really good. I'm getting everything. I don't know. I get everything. I collect everything. I don't know why. I just love Transformers, and I had a ton. I have every, the mainline stuff for Optimus Prime and everything. But my favorite, the Siege Optimus Prime is one of my favorites. Optimus Primes. It's
It's
a
fantastic.
really nice figure and everything. So yeah. Let's see. What were they saying? Yeah. Congratulations, BB13 Junior. Fix to get married. Good luck with that. No, I'm just kidding. I love my wife. So if what was I going to say? So okay, so Transformers has been around for 35 years, give or take. Almost over 35 years now. So what would you like to see from Transformers itself to go on another 30 to 35 years? What would you like to see? Comics? Are you into the comics? The cartoon, movies? Anything? What would you like to see from Transformers itself to keep you interested in Transformers for another 30 something years?
Another cool cartoon, that aren't like little 5 minute or whatever they were, that
Yeah,
Shinema
Machine.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So something with full episodes, cartoon wise, that was really well done would be fun. Like Transformers Prime was fun. That was a
Nice,
great series. But
nice.
quite honestly, and I'm not trying to bash the new Bumblebee movie because I watched it and I enjoyed it and I liked it a lot more than any of the Bay movies.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're almost there. I mean, everybody's going on, hey, it's G1 and all this stuff. Like, I don't look at it like that. I mean, I love G1, but I mean, for me, yeah, okay, Bumblebee is a Volkswagen, so we're halfway there. But the robot, while he doesn't look total Bayverse, he looks more Bayverse than he does G1, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like to me, he's got more of the movie aesthetic than he does the G1. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know why we can't take that last step, um, and do the like the original toys. I'm not
Oh yeah.
talking cartoon stuff here where we're getting into cartoon accuracy. I mean, take an original toy and you know how they're a bit blocky and they don't have all the junk hanging off them. Like
Yeah.
why can't we do that? That's for me that would be perfect. But I think I'm being selfish. Like I'm a G1 guy. I love old school. I don't know if there's an appetite for that. I mean, I think most people like like they like the cartoon look for the toys, that sort of thing. Maybe when it comes to live movies, there isn't that sort of appetite for it. But for me personally, I would love to see them go total G1 style. The vehicles don't have to be exactly the same if they couldn't get rights to them or something like that. But I don't know why we can't have clean robots.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And again, having said that, I mean I like the way Optimus Prime looked in the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
I'll buy that Studio Series Prime when I see it here in Canada. But to me, that's not how I want to see. I still want a bit more old school.
Right.
You know what I mean? If that makes sense, like
Yeah.
a
I got you. Oh, yeah. Bumblebee. Which actually came out today. I need to go get it on a Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
It looked a lot cleaner than the Bayverse stuff. So you could tell who was fighting. And
Yeah.
with the Bayverse stuff, it really was a bunch of metal shards and everything. And I mean, I understand. I think I understand why Bay did that because he wanted to be like realistically, this is what a transformer would probably look like anyways.
Yeah.
So I can see it from that angle and everything. So that's
Yeah.
fine. So another question is, do you ever think you'll stop collecting?
If I'm being honest, I probably should stop collecting, but it's just one of those things. I think I'm always going to have that itch. I can see myself, even if I really slow my roll quite a bit, I could see myself always, even just a little bit here and there, fine tuning the collection.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I don't see myself going hardcore forever. Like, you know what I mean? You run out of space. I don't make the time to sell and purge parts of my collection as often as I should. So things build up.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? After a while, it gets a bit much, right?
Yeah.
And that's coming from me. That's not even my wife saying, get rid of this stuff. It's like, you know what? Like, at the moment, I've probably got too much stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But when you walk in, you're just like, oh, what do I have 13 off in the fronts for? What do I have all this stuff and everything? So,
Yeah.
yeah, cool. All right.
And I mean, it's a challenge to display it too. And you got to ask yourself sometimes, like, okay, I mean, I
Yeah.
own this stuff. If it's in storage or whatever, I mean, unless you're rotating the stuff, and that's why every so often I like to do a new collections video, because it's like, yeah, you know, it's the same physical shelves, but I'll rotate a bunch of stuff because I figure, why am I keeping this stuff in boxes, like, you know, in a closet?
Yeah. There's,
You know what I mean?
yeah, they're just collecting dust. Nobody can see them. You don't get to see them. You're there. You know, they're just there. You know, so yeah,
Yeah.
it's understandable. Awesome. All right, I got one more question. One more last question I always ask and everything. Where do you see Transformer and video game reviews in 5 years?
Um, do you mean like like the channel itself?
Yeah, where I mean, do you think you'll still be around? Do you think you'll still have the passion to do reviews in 5 years? And where do you hope to be in 5 years with that?
I think the channel, I'm pretty sure the channel will still be around. Like, you know what I mean? It's different if you're, sometimes people get into this stuff when they're really young and then life kicks in and they don't have time for it. Well, life kicked in for me a long time ago.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? I started, I started this collection, sorry, the channel years after being, in the adult workforce, getting married,
yeah,
buying a house, doing all the, grown up stuff.
hmm,
So I don't foresee any reason why I would stop unless I just didn't enjoy it. I'm not going to force myself to make content. And sometimes I don't know if you feel this. I mean, I can't even honestly keep up with all your content. Like
I have,
you've got stuff sometimes, like it seems like twice a day,
yeah,
because I'll get a notification with new uploads from the people I'm subscribed to. I'm like, there'll be a dot next to your name. I'm like, oh, I already watched that.
yeah,
And then I click on it just in case. And it's, no, this is something else. So
yeah,
maybe you don't feel this way, but for me, like, it's sort of like, sometimes I think, as much as I enjoy it and all that, like, even if you don't want to, in a way, if you want to sort of work with the algorithm, you've got to have regular uploads, whether you like it or not. Like, you've got to have once a week, anyways, regularly, even if it's once every 2 weeks. But I think weekly, I think you've got to have those uploads, or you're just, when you do, even if it's a topical video, YouTube is not going to recommend it.
hmm,
It won't show up in people's feeds. It'll be way at the bottom of all the search results. So
yeah,
that part is a little bit, the odd time, maybe I don't feel like it. And usually I don't do one if I don't feel like it, because I don't want that attitude to come off in the video. So I might wait a couple of days. Maybe it won't be 7 days. It might be 10 days, but I'll do
yeah,
it when I actually want to do one.
yeah,
Um, I'm hoping that my overall quality, I'm going to say, improves. You know, I guess every smartphone I get is going to be better than the last. So the film quality, or the capture quality, and the sound should improve. But I mean, even just improvements, like, it'd be nice to get a proper light situation. I
yeah,
tried to pick up some external lights, and when I use them in my videos, it makes things look more yellow than they ever did. So I stopped
hmm,
using them.
yeah,
So I can't figure out that lighting thing, at least with my current phone that I'm using. So it'd be nice to get a nice, crisp product, good audio, great video. And I think with practice, the reviews, we all improve and we all get better. Most of us don't get worse, right?
oh yeah,
So I think that comes with time, that comfort and knowledge, and how to describe each bit of articulation. In the early days, you don't know what to call something, and then people are, oh, this is ankle tilt and pivot and this and that. As in the early days, you're like, I don't know, it moves a bit left and right.
yeah,
But no, I think I'll still be doing it. I'm hoping, I'm hoping to grow the channel. Within 5 years. I'm hoping substantially. Um, I'm pleased with what I've done in just one year.
yeah,
My goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers, and it's not to be I mean, it's to be monetized, but not for the reason that people think.
Mhm.
I'd like to get my channel monetized because it will give YouTube a reason to promote my videos.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fact that once a year I might be able to buy a $30 deluxe figure here in Canada.
Hmm.
The money, you know, for
It's
most people,
nothing.
the money's
It's not a
nothing.
lot of money at all.
So, I mean, for me, I literally just want that boost from YouTube, where they're going to stick an ad at the. I don't know if because you're monetized, right? Can you decide where that goes?
Yeah. Hmm.
So even if I stick it at the end or wherever I put it, they've got a reason when somebody puts in, you know, Transformers Siege Optimus Prime to
Hmm.
put me in the top 30 as
Yeah.
opposed to like, you know, sometimes even now when I do an exact search for one of my videos, and I'm not tiny at this moment. I mean, I've got over 700 subscribers.
Hmm.
Some of the big guys have videos that come up that are a different figure, but from the same line, and they're recommending those before mine and the title matches. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that kind of stuff. I get it. Like, I'm a small channel. Any larger channel is going to get, you know, recommended before mine. I totally respect that. These guys have all worked hard and they've been around for years, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But if you do, you know, Siege Optimus Prime, and I'm not going to start calling out big YouTubers, but you get some other guy who's got 300,000 subs, his review of, you know, whoever, Prowl or something, like it's not even the same thing. That frustrates me.
Yeah.
So I think when you're monetized, you know, and I don't know if you've ever searched your own videos, but you know, and where you fall into that. But I mean, sometimes I want to know, like, hey, if I search the exact title of my video, will it come up? How many pages do you have to search?
Right.
So again, for me, it'd just be nice to get that boost from YouTube, you know, to actually promote me a little bit more than they are. They have no incentive right now.
You'll get there, man. I mean, we've only been in a year. You know, you got 750. That's really nice. I mean, that's really good. It took me. I've been doing this for 3, 4 years almost now, and I'm just now at, you know, almost. I'm barely almost 2,000.
I've got no complaints, man. Like, I'm shocked that 700 people want to watch what I'm doing. Quite
Dude,
honestly,
I'm shocked too that people want to watch me. It's
like honestly, I'm shocked, and you know, I mean, it's humbling that, you know, I mean, and the friendships I've made through the comments,
oh yeah,
you know, and even just being, you know, on your show, and you know, I was on another show recently. It's, I mean, to me, that's awesome, and that's a big part of what it's all about. But no, I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm quite happy with you know where I've gotten to. I
yeah,
think I got lucky. Earlier this year, I did a couple of TFCon videos, and I think like in Canada here, it's in July.
yeah. Hmm.
So we had ours, I think, before anybody else, and those videos really took off for my channel. So I got a bunch. I must have got like 200 subs just from that.
Yeah,
So if you're lucky enough to have a video hit and hit big, then you can get a bunch of subs quickly. But generally speaking, I don't have figures in my hands before anybody else does.
yeah. I don't
Right?
need to.
Look, we don't get it here in Canada. Like,
Yeah,
Wave 2 hasn't hit. So if I want to do, you know, Ironhide,
yeah.
only my hardcore followers are going to watch and comment and like the videos, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to watch it a third time when you've seen?
I totally get that. You know, I have to, you know, and what I really like, what I really love, and it really, you know, touches my heart is when I'm, you know, when I go to TFCon. I've gone to the TFCons here in the States, and just walking through and people recognize me. Like, hey man, I like your stuff. You know, I love your, you know, reviews and everything. That really hits, you know, home to me. That really nice. You know, I love hearing that. It's really cool. You know, because I'm just a regular guy, just like anybody else. You know, all
Yeah.
these people on the Transformer conventions and everything. I'm just like you. And for somebody just to stop, you know, and take time out of their, you know, busy schedule and everything, and people coming on my show too, also, you know, I really appreciate it. And I'm honored to have, you know, anybody come on my show that wants to take time out of their busy schedule to do that and everything. So I'm really, you know, humble and appreciate everything, you know, and all that stuff. And like you just said, I can't believe all these people actually watch my stuff. It's weird. You know,
I think it's awesome though that people recognize you. I don't. I've never been recognized. I mean, I've talked to people who I know and met them at TFCon.
Yeah.
but I had planned to see them. Nobody's ever stopped me and said, "Hey, you've got that Transformers and video games." I'm not there yet.
You'll get there, man. You'll get
Maybe one day.
You will. You got good things coming, man. For you. Man, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Try to get you off as quick as because I know you got to get up early and everything. So I just want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule and coming on. And you're welcome anytime you want to come back. I would love to have you back on, man. It's really good, and your channel's going to be, it's going to explode. I know it will, man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for having me on. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to come back someday. Yeah,
cool. Awesome. And I want to say thank you all very much also in the chat for watching and everything. And once again, I will put his link in the description and all that stuff. Go follow him or sub to him at Transformers and Video Games. He'll pop right up. He'll be the first one when you do it. And once again, he's a really good dude. And go down and hit that like button. It helps the channel out and all that wonderful stuff. And I guess I'll see you on the next around 30 minutes. And as always, Hell Hasbro, and good night, folks. Okay.